Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. You might be wondering what we are doing in a paralogue we have already completed, and what we are doing looking at Goldmary. Well, we are here for one reason and one reason only. Experimentation. Well, more correctly, I've already done the experimentation, and it's the experiment results. So, what are we looking at here? Well, what we're looking at is effectiveness, because I was told I wasn't calculating it right, and I was like, okay, well, there's an easy way to test this. What we do is we get this character, we run up to somebody we've got effectiveness with, and then we can work it out, right? So, Goldmary walks up here, and we attack. Now, when we get into the screen, you'll immediately see that we've got two different numbers for our attack. Easily explained, we have momentum. Momentum adds 3, right? It only gets applied on the first attack. So 15 is the number we're looking at. Now, 15 is not double our physical attack, take away his defense, right? Because double our physical attack is 66, take away his defense is 36, I believe. Yes, it's 36, so that means we should be doing 30 damage. We are not doing 30 damage, right? We're doing 50, which is half of that. So you could assume it's half, but it's not, right? That's not how it is. It's just a weird coincidence. So, that's not how you work it out. And it's not triple the attack either, because that's way too high a number. What it is a weird mismatch of different things that you need to do in order to get your weapon value. Now, what you do is you go into unit details, and you first of all have a look at the difference between your physical attack and your strength. So the difference between those is 9. 9 is the actual weapon attack value that you have on your weapon. You then multiply that by 3, which is where you get triple damage in here, so that's 27. 27 adds 24 gets you 51. 51 take away 36, which is his defense, gives you 15. So that's how you work it out. Now, what's really annoying is this goes back to something that I had problems with before. My problem before is that it doesn't show you the weapon's actual attack value when you're looking at the weapon. It shows you your calculated physical attack. So having effectiveness be based off a value that the game doesn't show you is really weird, right? Like that's it makes no sense to me. But we know how it works now, and that's just generally how it works. Now, the other thing I need to say, because it's something that hasn't quite entered my head yet, but is true, is this is not effective against armor. This is only, like, armored units and flying units and all that sort of stuff are only affected like with this extra damage by weapons which say effective then the armor type. So if we have a look at Armor Slayer, you'll see that at the end it says effective armored. Magic is not effective against armored units, but it is effective against armored units in that it hits on magic and they have low res, right? If that makes sense. So that's where a lot of the confusion is coming from. Anyway, now we've worked that out, it's time for us to jump forward to the future where I believe there is going to be some new DLC details waiting for us. Although, I haven't installed the patch yet, so I'll be back with you in a second. Right, so the patch has been downloaded, and we now have version 2.0.0 of the game. So, the first thing is Expansion Pass. The Fell Xenologue has been added. Once you complete this new story, new allies will join your group, and the Enchanter Mage Cannoneer class will become available. So 2 new classes and new allies who will join you. Now, I have looked into this a tiny bit, and these characters will join you in the main game, and these classes will be available, as far as I'm aware, in the main game. And this opens up a very interesting problem for us, because effectively what this means is we've got this other story which we could do now, which would then add characters to our main game who we could use going forward, but it kind of feels a little bit awkward to just ditch the main story at this point. I think I would much prefer to do this after, but then if we got new allies in our group, are they going to get supports with the people who are currently in the main game? It's a little bit awkward. What I think we're going to have to do is do it after, and then if there are supports that we want to do, we're going to have to just, like, find something to do. I think I have been told that if we turn the difficulty down, you can farm supports. I don't really want to do that. But we could do that, as in, like, we finish the final mission, we reload the last save, we turn the difficulty down to 0, it then, you know, spawns skirmishes, we do the skirmishes give us supports. We could, in theory, do something like that, but hey, we'll worry about that later. Next thing, free content. You will receive a set of Engage weapon refining materials when you enter the Somniel after clearing Chapter 4. Okay. So I believe these are the materials that you get for doing the online mode. Okay. I mean, I could see us using them potentially, as I have no interest in doing the online mode. I have been told that they're a little bit strong, but we'll see. And you can now obtain bonus content from the Nintendo eShop for free. Which bonus content can I obtain from the Nintendo eShop for free? Well, I guess it's time to check the eShop. Okay, so I believe it is this content which is available for free. This set allows you to obtain the following weapons and bond rings relating to the group known as the Order of Heroes. The sword Folkvanger, the lance Fensalir, the axe Noatun, Alphonse's bond ring, S rank, Shirina's bond ring, S rank, and Anna's bond ring, S rank. Absolutely not. But anyway, to receive the Order of Heroes item set, visit the Somniel, which forms the protagonist's base of operations, and it's first accessible after completing Chapter 3 of the main story. Okay, so I do know that there was some integration with Fire Emblem Heroes when the game came out. Like, you could link your accounts, and then that would let you get extra weapons. What I'm going to assume is that this is effectively what you got for linking the accounts, because it's called Order of Heroes. That's kind of my guess, and that they're just allowing anyone to download it now because they're not going to get a lot of people, you know, linking their accounts. That's my guess. Like, they've had the initial wave, and now they just want to give the items to people. Okay, cool. I'm not going to download it, but you know, it's good that it's there. And now we're in game, and wow, we got a lot of crystals and a relay ticket. But yeah, a lot of crystals from the online mode. Although we were only getting 20 of them, I thought from when we looked at it previously, maybe I'm wrong, I thought I needed 30 to actually unlock anything. Maybe that is the case, and and they've given you like just not enough, so that you have to do a little, but you don't have to do as much. I don't know. Anyway, we're done with that, which means now we're free to do our normal Somniel stuff. Have we got anything new in the Somniel? Ancient Well is new stuff. You know what we haven't done in a while? Changed our outfit. I think it's time.
Welcome.
You know, we've been in this golden outfit for a long time. Let's change. You know what? I say I can't splurge. I was going to splurge and buy something new. Obviously, we don't have the money for that. But let's see what we got. What have we got? Could go back to the onesie. Could go for the rare vest, which is just a very odd look altogether. Marth style. That's too soon. Sigurd, Leaf, been Roy. We've not been Ike. We go Byleth style. I kind of feel like we could go Byleth style. And then let's zoom out a little bit here. I always have my Byleth wearing the glasses. I could always just cosplay as the Byleth that I had here. Okay, I forget what they were like. Were they like this in Three Houses, or were they like this? I think they were like square specs. We could do that. What else have we got? Yep, we got that. The spirit ears, obviously, the dog ears, the bunny ears, the fox ears. You know, let's go square specs. I think that was what it was. Sure, let's do that. And that's how I had my Byleth looking, so we can just cosplay
Be well.
Fortress now. There we go. This is our outfit. Although, to be fair, I think I also barely used the main outfit because it just looked weird. Also, I love how they've given the arms some kind of level of physics. It just doesn't work at all, but that's okay. I also just realized I forgot to do fishing, but you know, we can do that later. Right, you've got something to say. I didn't think we'd return to Elusia so soon, but I have to be ready to accept whatever happens. Okay. I suspect we're gonna... I was gonna say I suspect we're gonna have more people to speak to, but they might not be around. No, never mind, they're here. Hello, new party member, potentially. Look at me, here in the actual Somniel. One more story to tell my wife on the other side. Oh. Dead wife. I see. Well, this is the first actual conversation we've had. Thank you for letting us know. Sure. Where are we? Lindon. Initial class Sage. Birthday June 29th. Basic info. An Elusian soldier in a force opposing the Divine Dragons group, but he was persuaded to join their army after having second thoughts. Okay, kinda true. Hello, Ivy.
May I?
I worry about my people. They must blame me for the situation, but I'm willing to accept that. Sorry, I love the outfit we've got Ivy in. She looks so just kind of like casual and calm, and then she's like, I worry about my people. And it's like the noble too high up, like, oh yeah, they must be having a hard time, and she sits there relaxing, chilling. Anyway, I wonder if it looks any different in her main outfit. It probably does.
The divine
Oh wait, you don't have anything to say. That's fine. Right. Anyway, talk to everybody. I think it's time for us to address one of the people we talked about. And we're going to address him by having a look at him. Lindon. What are we gonna do with Lindon? He's an interesting character. Let's start with this. If unit is equipped with a weapon of lower level than foes, grants crit plus 20 during combat. Now this is very interesting, because you can in theory do some very cool stuff with that. And it doesn't just have to be magic, as was pointed out in the comments. It could be whatever. Like, obviously, I'm assuming that his growths are kind of aimed towards magic, looking at the fact that he has like really low strength but high magic. But you could in theory put him into a class that uses a weapon which scales off of magic, yet is still in that, but yeah, it's still that weapons type, like the Levin sword, or I think is it the Hurricane Axe, I think also scales. I don't know why I went to her to have a look at this, like she had it equipped. I think is it Hurricane? Yeah, see, the Hurricane Axe as well. You could do something like that. It scales off of magic. It gives you a way to use those weapons when usually you couldn't do so. It's an interesting thought. He could also be a very good magic user. Thoron, I actually think, is not a good weapon for him, weirdly, because weapon insight isn't going to trigger very often, because it's an A rank weapon. So in theory, you're actually looking to use something more like what Ivy is currently running with. So El Thunder, probably. You probably don't want to run with that. Maybe even what Pandreo currently has, like these C-class weapons, will probably be absolutely fine on Lindon. Lindon's magic, however, is nowhere near Pandreo's, so it's not really going to work as well. I was thinking here, yeah, even his magic isn't even close to Ivy's either. That's kind of an interesting one. His actual magic stat is pretty low. Is that because he's under-leveled compared to the rest of them? Have we actually over-leveled people? As in, to the point where they're higher levels than the people we're recruiting? That's an unusual state of affairs. Oh yeah, Pandreo is over-leveled. This is his second class, I forgot. He's already had a class. Okay, so hers is like, let's say she's on 24 magic. He's on 19, so she's got 5 stats on him. Okay, interesting. So, he's obviously fairly good at the crit stuff. In terms of classes, like, we could go all over the place with him. We could look at making him like an axe crit user. We could, with Hurricane Axe, I guess. You see, it's all like a little bit weird. We could make him Mage Knight. That's kind of an interesting one, actually. Like, Mage Knight, we could give him one of these weapons, like a Levin sword, and suddenly he's doing great work. Yeah, there's potentially some good stuff we could do there. It lowers his magic even further, though. Unit initiates combat with physical attack against the foe armed with magic or vice versa. Grant speed plus 3. Well, you see, that's not going to do very much because we would want him to use magic attacks anyway. Okay, so there's something you could do with him here. Let's do the initial check. Do we think that there is anybody who he would replace on our team? So who's currently the lowest on our team? Probably Rosado? And it was Rosado and Hortensia originally. I actually kind of think Hortensia might be earning her place in the party due to her ability to heal. I think she's really, really good as a healer, which is not surprising given she has the healing ability. So, I think actually Hortensia might be clear. I think she might be clear of him. To Means our option is Lindon, Pandreo, or Ivy. I mean, like, we can see where this is going, right? Oh, sorry, or Rosado. I should also say or Rosado whenever I say anything. Like, or Rosado. So it's not Pandreo, right? Pandreo currently is using, like, base tier weapons. Like, these are not upgraded in any way, and he is absolutely destroying every single situation we put him into. He can do no wrong, right? He's pretty much perfect. His luck stat as well, just as something incredible. I think that's what's going into his Avo stat. Was that right, or is it just dodge? Maybe I'm going crazy. I think it was his out. You know, I'm gonna have to do the same thing that we did before. Right, let's take. I'm sorry, Pandreo. I'm gonna take your ring away for a second. There we go. That did not affect it whatsoever. Wait. Oh, I need to move on to a different ring. You know what? I can just do this.
Let's go.
Yeah, so you see his Avo stat dropped quite a lot because he's got less luck. I need to go to someone with no luck. So you have no luck. Yeah, there you go. So that goes down by 12, which means that, yeah, his Avo goes down by exactly 12. So there you go. So his luck stat is helping quite a lot, but even from the ring. But even then, his luck is very high, so he's got really high Avo. He's really good just in general, right? Pandreo, pretty much like exactly what we want from a magic user. He even heals pretty well. So, that leaves us with Ivy and Lindon. They're both interesting in their own ways. Ivy currently has an issue where her speed is atrocious. Like, let's just make this fair. Let's equip her. Oh, I have to go into the inventory. Let's equip her with like an actual like weapon. There you go. Like this. Okay, let me try that again. Let's equip her with an actual weapon which she can have a speed stat. There you go. So her speed stat while using that weapon is 17, right? Which is pretty low. It means she's getting doubled a lot of the time by most things that she's fighting. The El Thunder one, I purely gave her just to be like, this is for when she's not going to be counter hit. I don't know if that experiment has worked, but essentially, like, it doesn't help matters. Single-minded doesn't really do very much for us because she has to attack the same foe multiple times, which basically only occurs when we use Dance, if we're playing correctly. And then Grasping Void from Lindworm, honestly, I just don't think is very good because it does half damage, may do damage equal to half of the foe's magic. The thing is, we don't want her attacking units with high magic generally. We want her attacking units that have, you know, very low magic, I guess, like armored units. I mean, let's just go through our characters for a second here. So anyone who's not a magic user, John, you don't count. 8 magic, 5 magic, 3 magic, 1 magic, 3 magic. You have 13, so 13 is the highest we've seen. 7, 6, 5, 8, right? So 13 is the absolute highest we've seen. Kind of 8 seems to be the like normal highest, and that's with a +2 as well on here, right? So even then, it's like adding 7 damage, but it's not getting doubled. So like it's not like Grasping Void is doing a ton, and that's only happening 18% of the time, right? It's not a very consistent thing. I mean, if we think about, yeah, 8. So 8 would be adding 4 damage. So that would give you, like, you know, an extra 4 on top of this. Like, again, it's not looking very good, right? In terms of, like, her damage. Now, is she better than Lindon? That is a question. Lindon's speed is also atrocious right now, but that's because he's using Thoron. Let's give him a new weapon. Let's give him a new weapon. I want to compare like for like here. I'm going to give you the Elfire from her for right this second. There we go. So he's got Elfire. And you know, currently, you know what we'll do? Just to try and get like everything out of here, I'm going to unequip Morgan S to remember that we have Morgan S on her. We're going to use Pandreo's... you know, I'm actually just going to do a swap here. Honestly, like, Pandreo should have that weapon. I think he's just going to be better with it overall. There we go. And then she can have that. Right. So, 9, 24, 3 18s, 22 4. Versus 8 19. So, lower, lower. 21 19. So, he's got 1 extra speed. 3 extra dex. Defense is 12. Her defense is 18. Res is lower. He's just not as good, right? I think Ivy is just like straight up better. Like in pretty much everything. Even like their luck stats are both just atrocious. Like it doesn't matter. Like hers is 4 less than his. They're both awful. Okay, so he's not better than Ivy. I would like to find a place for him on our team because he's a little bit different, but he's not going to take Ivy's place, at least on a pure, you know, who's better standpoint. Okay. It was the S. It was Morgan S is what we had on here. Morgan S. Morgan S. I thought it was at the bottom of the list. There we go. It's Morgan S. There we go. We can always switch this up. But okay. So if he's not better than Ivy, is he better than Rosado? Ooh, that's a difficult one. His rating is higher if you like let's say we take away Rosado's ring, right? Let's take away Rosado's ring here. So it's Saber A under Celica. Rating is higher, which is a terrible way of doing things. Also, I would like to unequip Rosado's weapon, or at least equip a weapon where Rosado isn't getting a negative. Equip. Is that better? Yeah, so no negatives happening. So he's got better speed, better dex, worse defense, better res, better magic. Not that it matters, but his magic stat is better than... Lindon's magic stat is better than Rosado's magic stat. Yeah, and then luck is exactly equal. So, yeah, so how do we want to handle this? This is still, it's still interesting. So, what I'm trying to figure out is what we would use each one. Like, Rosado currently is kind of a tank for us. Could Lindon be a tank for us in any way? Probably not, right? Like, I don't know, if we dressed him up in tank gear. Not that I think this is a smart move whatsoever. Let's say we made him a general, right? It does actually boost his strength quite significantly, actually, putting him in one of these classes, which you would expect, but like, the strength stat is not as terrible as you think it is on first sight. Because Rosado's got 17 strength, right? Lindon, in terms of strength, if we were to put him into the general class, 18 strength, so is higher than Rosado. Huh. With reasonable res, actually, as well. And defense is still pretty bad on both of them. What that class does. It's potentially not bad. Although, actually, he's in the Great Knight class, isn't he? Yeah, so... we'd actually be looking something like this. So actually that, yeah, so strength being higher is not true. Yeah, it's 1 lower. But it's comparable. It's more comparable than I first thought it would be. Okay, interesting. What else could we do with them? Is there anything that is actually good here? Paladin strong against magic. Still has a really low res stat. It's kind of a weird one for me. Griffin Knight? We haven't had a Griffin Knight. Unit space and adjacent spaces have a movement cost of 1 for allies. So I guess that would be if you're in like a quicksand map or you're in something like that. You kind of position him, he sits there, and then everyone can walk around him without taking a negative. Okay, I think that's how it's what that's meaning. Gives him a much higher strength stat. Magic stat would be for healing, so he'd effectively be taking on a Hortensia type role here. Just worse. Yeah. Here's the problem, like every role I try and find from here, he's taking on someone else's role, just like a little bit worse. Okay, wait a second, let me read this again. If unit initiates combat with a physical attack against a foe armed with magic, or vice versa, grants speed +3 during combat. I think I've read this wrong. So originally the way I read it was if the unit initiates a combat, physical attack against magic, or the foe uses magic against you with a physical attack, then you get speed. But no, I think actually what it is if you initiate with physical, or you initiate with magic, and they're using the other one, you get +3. Okay, so that's potentially like a lot of speed. Okay, there's something that you can do here. I think Mage Knight is not terrible for him. So if you went Mage Knight, your strength would definitely be lower. Your magic would be what? Mage Knight. Your magic would be 17. So it's 2 lower than it is now, which is not great. So he's gonna. I think the problem is with Mage Knight, we're gonna struggle to actually do damage, like the base level damage. Yeah. Martial Master, isn't it? High Priest. It would be okay, potentially, because we want to use low tier weapons. That's an interesting. I was just thinking Thief is an interesting one. Probably not. I don't know. I just feel like there's a way to get this guy into our team. I just don't feel like there's any way that we can, though. Let me just have a look at the members of our team again. I'm kind of the thing is, I'm kind of happy with our team now. So it's trying to find a way to get him in. I think we might just have to get supports with him. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Ivy is quite fine here. I think Rosado is better than he is. So there we go. Rosado, you have won your place back despite it not really being in any danger whatsoever. Now, I do want to have a look at Ivy. There's gotta be a way of trying to fix Ivy in the short term, right? I mean, long term we have many options. Like, we're gonna get more rings. More rings can do many things that we don't even know about yet. In the short term, Ivy has no skills, right? So what we could potentially do, I was considering Lynn on Ivy, but I'm not quite ready to ditch Lynn on the main character, so Lynn on Ivy doesn't make any sense right now, because I need to see what the other characters do, and it's just been so long that I just don't really know. But what we could do is we could grab the speed off of Lynn, right? And then we could put a speed magic ring on if we've got one of those. Like, yeah, maybe like this ring, like May's ring could be okay. And try and just up the speed in any way that we can, just to mitigate the issue, basically. I guess Lewin would be okay as well. Dex is pretty good there. But Deirdre's already being used. No, definitely not. Again, Absel would be fine. Anyone else? Sarah would be fine. We've got a lot that actually give the exact same buffs. Completely unnecessary, that one. I guess I'm really looking for like an S rank that gives me what I want. That's not really what I'm looking for. Like, I want an S rank version that gives like 2 speed or 2 magic and then 1 dex. It's very specific. I don't think we have it. But I'm just going to quickly check all the A ranks we have while we're doing this. Tana, 2 speed, halfway there. Just no magic at all. I think losing magic at all is a bad one. 2 dex? That's interesting. Wind Adept does nothing because it has to be it has to actually be wind. 2 speed, 1 dex, 1 luck. That's not terrible. I think Mia's okay. I think Shove is completely useless, but I think Mia's okay. Ilyania. Okay. Randolph. Black Knight. Definitely not. Leanne. No. Morgan is pretty good for just pure magic. We could probably put Morgan on someone else. I don't know who that someone else is. Sakura? Nope. Oh, and then these are Byleth, right? Oh no, Byleth's not the DLC one. We can have a look. That's fine. Yeah, so no, none of them. Okay, so it was one of these ones, I think. Probably not Tanya. Wait, was it these ones? I've lost where it was. There were so many of them. Wasn't Rutger? Was it? Nope, wasn't her. Sarah. There we go. There's one. Let's try Sarah's ring, and let's give Ivy some speed. You know what? We're gonna do things out of order. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna try and give some speed to Ivy. You know, let's try and fix our problems. There's a bunch of bond fragments. Cool. And we're gonna head this way. Also, I just want to double check something before we move on. I want to double check number of party members. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so that's our full 14. Okay, cool. Just want to double check before we 100% put them out to pasture and said, I'm sorry, you're not joining my team. And let you know when you're not joining my team. That's fine. You. Lynn, we're just gonna kind of go for it, you know? We'll see what we can do here.
Crown Princess of Elusia.
I'm Lynn. Get ready.
Although we do have Elfire and she has a bow. Well, that was fun.
Your ring is something of an heirloom in my family. I suppose that makes things awkward.
Not at all. I spent many years in your father's company. King Hyacinth treated me well.
Oh, okay. Cool. You know the other thing we need to check with Ivy? How many SP points she actually has? Because otherwise we might not be able to do a lot of buying. She has 1479. 1479. So she was recruited before we got 2000. Does it like a base here? Okay. So if I went Lynn, you can get up to speed 4. Okay, but you need 16. Okay, that's fine. Let's go Emblem. Ivy. Lynn. We're going all the way to level 10. Let's go.
I am here.
I am Lynn of the Lorca tribe.
Well, that was quick.
I still find it odd to fight alongside a family heirloom. But I'm glad you're here, Lynn.
Elusia's royal family has a special place in my heart. I'm happy to lend you my strength.
Cool. So that gets us these. We then go back in for another one. So it's Ivy versus Lynn again to level 15. It's costing us a lot of bond fragments, but we do have an awful lot.
Do you think me a
bond
worthy
fragments.
opponent?
I'm Lynn.
I don't think we need to
I
see
won't
this
be
again.
holding back.
Yeah, it's fairly obvious who's going to win. Okay. And then I would like to spend just a tiny few more points getting speed up to 60. There we go. Or getting the bond up to 16.
Ivy, Crown Princess of Elusia.
I'm Lynn. Get ready.
Cool. And that's yet another loss for Ivy. That's fine. I don't even think it matters if we equip Ivy with a weapon. I think she just loses that one like 100% of the time. But it also doesn't matter because whether you win or lose, you get the exact same result from that. And all of it in Maddening, from my understanding. So, let's buy speed plus 4. So now we're going to equip speed plus 4 to Ivy. That then means that Ivy is, you know, walking around with 23 base speed. 23 base speed is not too bad, right? I think that's usable. That's definitely usable. It means that anything up to 28 is not going to double her, which means that she will actually, against the slower enemies, like somebody like Louis, right? I mean, she would have anyway. I'm trying to find something. But like, if we look at our characters again, there are very few who are above 28. Like Zelkov is on 25. Yeah, you're on 28. Pandreo, Kagetsu. Yeah, very few. So against more than half of our team's roster, she's not getting doubled. And that's all I'm really trying to do. She would double the armored unit, she would not get doubled by most other units. That makes her much more usable because she's actually got reasonable defense if she's only being hit once. So that's what I want to do. Anyway, now we've got her there, what we might as well do while we're in this area is we might as well do some training, because if we can do some training, then we can do the wake-up event afterwards, and we can hopefully leave all of this area from that point onwards. So I'm just trying to figure out who actually has, or who's close to a level or close to something. Could try Ivy, she looks close enough to a level. Kagetsu's really close to a level as well, as is Panette. So Kagetsu Panette could be okay. Let's go Kagetsu Panette Ivy. Ivy, you can go first.
I am here.
I'll be your opponent.
Oh no. That was closer than it should have been, but that's okay. Next, she would actually level up if we gave her all 3. And we give Kagetsu the next one.
Kagetsu, at your service. Come, show me your skill.
I'm Alfred, Crown Prince of Firene.
Against anyone else, Kagetsu had no chance with the legend sword. However,
thanks for showing me what I
Alfred
still need to work
is
on.
an easy target.
That was fun, was it not?
Nice. Okay, good. And next, we're going to go for Panette.
I am Panette. Brace yourself.
I am the chef, Bonet. Please, go easy.
Okay.
Defeat has left a bitter taste in my mouth.
I'm so sorry. Are you injured?
It's a level up. Cool. Nice. Okay, from here we can now thumbnail map back to our room, and we can rest here. So we're kind of doing the thumbnail almost backwards from how we usually do it. Almost backwards, but not quite. So, let's rest.
Only me. Just here to make your room super cute. Okay, here we go. Ribbons, flowers, bells. Gonna need a bigger bell. Perfect. Let's see how this sounds. Whoa, too loud, too loud! Sorry about that, Divine One. I was trying to give you a cute surprise. I'll clean this up.
Okay, cool. So, next step, what we're going to do is we are going to go to the Somniel map. I'm just thinking, is there anyone else we think who might have dialogue? I don't think there's anyone else this month who's going to have dialogue. I think we spoke to Hortensia, Ivy, and Lindon. I can't see anyone else having dialogue after that previous thing we did. Okay, so I'm going to send you over to the training yard. Perfect. That's where I want to start off today, because I want to go to the well just to see what's in it, chuck the new stuff down it, and then we'll see where we're at. Then we can probably do some support stuff, as in like leveling them up, do a meal, see where we get to. So, once it loads, this is why I tend to do this the other way around, is so we only have to do a load once. Wait, that said something. I think, oh, that must have said something is at the well. The message was on the top of my screen and then it disappeared immediately. Oh, cutscene?
Divine One, we have been getting reports lately of a strange presence coming from this well. I have not been able to find anything unusual about it, but perhaps you should investigate.
Oh, okay. Fel Xenologue. You can access the Fel Xenologue from an ancient well. You do not have to complete it all at once. You can return to the story of the world of the main story between chapters if you like. The Fel Xenologue also has a difficulty setting separate from that of the main game. Of course, you access the DLC through the well. Alright then. No. But, you know, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, none of that's really very good, but that's okay. It's all sellable. That's just worrying to have something that isn't just transfer items here. Also, does this mean all the items I've been chucking down there have just been going to the Xenologue? Like, we've literally just been chucking junk down there and it's been going into the DLC? Okay. I'm gonna send the crossbow there. Can we get up to a 3-star? Probably if I get rid of the vulns, I imagine. Yeah, so let's go with something like the confection knife, the crossbow, poleaxe, and the spear. Is this spear meant to be equipped on anyone? I don't think so. But I am a little bit curious. Why has nobody got a spear on? Wonder if I can push this up by putting vulns in here. Let's see. Nope, that will not do it. How about a 2 obstruct, 10 obstruct? Okay, a rescue would do it. Okay. I think I'm gonna chuck the silver lance down because we can rebuy the spear. Sure, let's do that. Confirm. Transfer. Okay, cool. Let's go this way. So now we know how to access the DLC. It's through the well. Not that we want to do that. Next, who am I doing? So Boucheron Lapis, Fogado Etier. I also want to do Etier and potentially Goldmary, because that one was interesting last time. So yeah, Etier Goldmary was interesting last time. And then I also want to, somebody suggested doing all of the like kingdom pairings, so doing Allcrest and Diamond, doing Ivy and Hortensia, and you know what, it makes a level of sense. They're probably the main characters if we look at it from that point of view, so it makes sense to try and get as many of them as possible. I'm just checking we don't already have a Boucheron Lapis lined up. We do not. Okay. Boucheron Lapis to start then. Okay. do another one. Okay, so that was Fogado Etier. Just gonna change these to Fogado and Etier. And then we'll go for Boucheron Lapis again. Oh, wow. 3 of them with no result. Okay. Well, guess we'll do an eat, which will probably get us where we need to go with this. Through here. Hello. Right. So, you should be able to do one for Boucheron and Lapis because you're from the same area as Boucheron. Yeah, there we go. Apple pie. Perfect. They like that. And I'll put a rare fruit into it. Sure.
I know a few things about cooking.
And it said she was skilled at it. Well, that's
I do
good.
want the plating to shine.
Might get
This
high
should
ranking.
make for a light meal.
Hey, that's not bad.
Okay. But still no actual conversation? That was only a D. Wow. Okay. That's fine. So they don't have a conversation between each other? Not yet. Okay. Well, keep working on it. Might as well grab this achievement while we're here. 2 achievements while we're here. Okay. Cool. So now we've done that. We've done the eating. I think we might be on to supports. Yeah, I did check the shop to see if there was anything new in it. There is not, so let's start with our supports. And let's start with, there's no bond conversations. Alright, right in here. So us and Alchrist.
Alchrist, do you have a moment?
Oh yeah, the last one, he chased away a wolf by apologizing to it, I think. So we'll see how this goes.
I do, Divine One. What is it?
Why are you standing like that? Are you okay?
I'm preparing to bow.
And why are you doing that?
I want to be ready in case I need to apologize for something.
Oh, for the love of... There's no need for that. I just wanted to discuss that wolf incident.
Oh? What about it?
I need you to understand something about me. And about you. I'm not higher, you're not lower. We share the same footing. Try not to think or act otherwise, okay?
I wish I could follow that order, but I just don't believe it.
Hey, come on. Why is it so hard for you to accept that?
I'm very sorry to disappoint you, Divine One.
I guess it can't be helped. I worry, but you do get results. Keep handling things your own way.
My own way? Are you sure? I'm aware that I often bring the mood down around others, and I struggle with compliments. I'm nowhere near as confident as my brother, so I'm sure my hesitation frustrates people. Despite all of that, you really think it's okay for me to keep handling things my own way?
I do, but I hope that someday you'll take what I've been saying to heart.
Very well. Thank you for your advice, Divine One.
Good. Okay. Like the character development. And hopefully we'll see him be confident in his final one. Although I am a little bit worried, because there's some, like, in 3 Houses, right? You have this, with the main character, you have or in fact, with all the supports between characters, you have this character development that goes on through it. And then you start a new support, and all their character development is out the window because they're who they were at the start. Now, in 3 Houses, minor spoiler, well, major minor spoiler, there is a time skip in the game, which means that the early supports are actually often supports that were from before the time skip, and some of the later ones were after, so it's a little bit different, but I'm still worried that we're going to see that with some of the characters in this game, where they have a realization, character growth, and it's completely gone on the next support. Although, we might just end up not doing that many supports, which is the other thing. I'm looking for Alchrist, there we go. Hobbies: brooding, moping. Talents: finding any person's best qualities. Background: born the second prince of his kingdom, grew up in his brother's shadow, suffers low self-esteem even though he's quite skilled. yo, there's Alchrist. Also wearing a snazzy coat. Next up, we have a support between Zelkov and Kagetsu. Last time, Kagetsu was trying to get Zelkov to fight him. Let's see how it goes now.
Zelkov, our time is at hand. Prepare yourself!
Again, I am afraid I must decline.
I tire of hearing that. It is not your right to deny me this way. Face me in mock battle now. Or I will fight your artwork in your place.
What?
You always have time for some trivial obsession. Never for your friend. How are we supposed to bond?
Calm yourself. I hear your concerns, but destroying my art will not make this better. It would only ensure I not speak to you again. Put down your weapon, Kagetsu. What about this is amusing to you?
This tense mood. Do you feel it? It is as if we are rivals, destined for conflict. At last, you are taking me seriously. If you will not face me as my friend, then at least you will do so as my opponent.
Enough.
What? Standing down already? Does your art mean so little to you after all?
I have seen your eyes. You lack the conviction of a killer. You are a child seeking attention.
Ooh, it's a low blow, but it is kinda true here.
Child? How dare you?
Leave me. This is a genuine warning.
I get no say in this at all, do I?
They do have very different backgrounds, if you think about it, and it makes sense. So Zelkov's kind of like, you know, done with the world. He's very gloomy. You know, he's kind of like just going with the flow. While you have Kagetsu, who has got this wanderlust. He's got this childlike wonder. He's in a new land. He's on an adventure. You know, it's a much happier kind of feeling. So, yeah, you can see how that's clashing a little bit. I like it. Oh, well, as we talked about it, Ivy and Hortensia.
Hortensia.
Something on your mind, Ivy? Or are you just here to admire my pretty face?
I'm just happy. We've been through so much, but we're finally together again. You're my only family now. I want you to know that you are important to me.
Guess it's a relief to hear a half-sister counts as family.
That has never mattered to me. I have always thought of you as my sister. And you are all the family I need.
Yeah, well, no need to make it awkward. But I feel the same way, so thanks.
You have your mother's smile. In fact, you seem to resemble her more and more each day.
So, from Rosado and Hortensia's one, we got the feeling that Hortensia could have had a life away from, like, you know, royalty initially. And, like, because I think they were saying, like, they were at, I want to say, an academy or something together. So, it could be that because they don't share the same parents, it could be a situation where King Hyacinth was, you know, like, had an affair with a commoner or something, and then at some point, like, you know, brought Ivy into the fold as a royalty, like maybe, not Ivy, Hortensia into the fold as royalty, like maybe her mother died or something. I don't know. I'm sure we'll get more of it in here, but that's, I think, what they're setting up.
You think so? I'm flattered. I'm really glad. It's only thanks to her I get to call you my sister in the first place.
Okay. Or... no, because then they wouldn't be half-sister. I was thinking, or her mother married King Hyacinth afterwards. Then they wouldn't really be half-sisters. Unless, of course, like, she became... it was one of these situations where they're half-sisters, but like, it's not by blood. And she's just like, yeah, Hyacinth is my father, even though he isn't.
I don't mean to dig all that up. I'm not holding a grudge or anything.
I know. Even so, it is because of my mother that you...
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered something I gotta do somewhere. Sorry, Ivy. Talk later.
I'm sorry, Hortensia.
So it sounds like Ivy's mother killed or caused the death of Hortensia's mother. I'm assuming over this affair that King Hyacinth had that I've made up in my head currently. Okay. It's a tangled web. Is this their final one? Wow. A natural final one, like one that we didn't have to put any work into. Louis Pandreo staring at people at parties?
Oh, sorry, Louis. I didn't see you there. I get very focused when I'm praying.
Never fear. I had hoped not to disturb you.
Did you have a question? I've already told you all the good observing spots I can think of.
No, there is something else on my mind today. I thought I might ask you to say a prayer for my mother.
Forgive me if I'm misremembering, but I thought your mother passed away.
You recall correctly. I was very young then and too devastated to do anything but take each day as it came. Though it embarrasses me to admit that it's taken so long to realize this, I don't believe I ever gave my mother a proper send-off amidst all the tumult.
I see.
My family were never very deeply religious, you see. No offense intended.
Oh, none taken. Religious or not, you wish her a peaceful rest. I respect that. I'm sure she will be glad to hear that from her place in the heavens.
Thank you, Pandreo.
Are you sure I'm the right messenger, though? A man of the cloth I may be, but I'm not what most would call conventional. You don't think someone else might be more suitable?
No, my choice is deliberate. If someone is going to give her a memorial service, I would prefer it to be a dear friend.
Gotcha. Well then, I'm happy to help, Louis. Let's pray, shall we? Our guiding soul, who art above.
Mother, may your soul find peace.
Oh. Well, it wasn't where the previous parts of their support went. It's nice to get like a different view into both of them. You know? A view into Louis when he's not just being a little bit weird, and a view into Pandreo when he's not partying. Yeah, cool. Right, I believe we have finished everything that needs to be done in the Somniel. Trying to think of anything that needs to be done. We've done the wake up, we've done the arena, we've done everything that needs to be done. I need to do fishing off camera, but that's hardly relevant to the situation. But it will hopefully get us like most of our bond fragments back. Yeah, it'll get us up to like 8,000 probably at least. We were getting like 500 on the previous one per fish, so could get quite a lot depending on how good I am at fishing. Need to do some inventory management. Obviously I messed around with all those tomes, so we'll need to fix those, but I think next time, I don't know, we're either ready to go on to another paralog or on to just more main story. Yeah, I guess more main story still makes sense. By the way, I'm fairly certain that there's still like quite a chunk left to go in terms of the main story. I don't know how many missions, and I deliberately don't really want
for a job?
But
another day of
if we have a
happiness?
look at, say, Alfred here, and we have a look at
What'll it
strength
be?
training.
How hard do you want to
See,
go?
we haven't even unlocked expert and iron muscle
What'll
yet.
it be?
We got 2 whole strength training things still left, and I'm assuming that they got to give you at least a couple missions of the final one to do before they call it the end of the game. So yeah, still quite a lot there. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm gonna end the episode there, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Rise from a